If you are waking up 2, 3, even 4 times a night to use the bathroom, I need you to stop scrolling for the next 20 minutes because what I'm about to show you is not what your doctor has told you, and it is not what you've read online. Most people over 50 think the answer is simple. Just drink less water at night. I'm going to show you why that advice is not only wrong, it might actually be making your nighttime bathroom trips worse. My name is Dr. Mira. I'm a urologist, and for years I've sat across from patients just like you, exhausted, frustrated, afraid to travel, afraid to sleep through a movie, afraid to even nap on the couch without worrying about making it in time. Here's the truth. There is a specific way to drink water, a timing, a rhythm, a method that can cut your nighttime bathroom trips down dramatically. In some cases, from 4 times a night to 0. And I'm going to walk you through the exact method, step by step, in this video. But stay with me until the end, because tip number 4 is the one almost nobody talks about. And it's often the real reason people over 50 are still waking up at 2 a.m., even after they've tried everything else. Let's get into it. Before we dive in, let me explain quickly why this matters so much, especially after 50. Nighttime urination, we call it nocturia in medicine, isn't just an annoying inconvenience. It's one of the most common reasons seniors report poor sleep, daytime exhaustion, and even falls in the middle of the night. Broken hip fractures from stumbling to the bathroom in the dark are sadly something I see far too often in my practice. So this isn't just about comfort. This is about your safety, your energy, your independence, and honestly, your quality of life. The good news? In most cases, this is fixable. Not with medication, not with expensive supplements, with something as simple and as free as how and when you drink water. Let's talk about why this happens in the first place, because understanding the why is what makes the solution actually stick. Before we go into why this happens after 50, I need to introduce this channel to you. Welcome to Dr. Mira Health Education, where we share simple, evidence-based health tips to help adults over 60 live healthier and longer lives. Before we get started, I'd love to know 2 things. Tell me your age and where you're watching from in the comments below. I read as many comments as I can because it helps me understand who I'm helping and what health topics matter most to you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, tap the subscribe button now so you never miss our weekly health updates. Now, let's get started. Here's something most people don't realize. As we age, our bodies change in 3 specific ways that affect nighttime urination. And once you understand these 3 things, the solution I'm about to give you will make complete sense. First, your bladder capacity changes. The bladder is a muscle, and like every other muscle in the body, it can lose some of its elasticity over time. That means it holds less than it used to, so it signals you sooner, sometimes even when it's not truly full. Second, your body's fluid rhythm shifts. When you were younger, your body was very good at holding on to fluid during the day and releasing more of it while you were awake. As we get older, that rhythm can flip. More fluid gets released at night instead of during the day. This is called nocturnal polyuria, and it's one of the most common and most fixable causes of nighttime bathroom trips. Third, daytime habits catch up with you at night. Coffee in the morning, tea in the afternoon, that glass of wine with dinner, salty food at lunch. All of these affect how your kidneys process fluid hours later, often right around the time you're trying to fall asleep. Now here's the important part. Most people try to fix this by simply cutting back on water in the evening. And I understand the logic. Less water in, less need to go, right? Except that's not how the body actually works. And this is where most people over 50 are getting it wrong. Let me bust this myth right now, because it is by far the most common mistake I see. Mistake number 1, drastically cutting water intake in the evening. When you drink too little water overall, your urine becomes more concentrated. Concentrated urine is actually more irritating to the bladder lining, not less. That irritation can trigger the sensation that you need to go, even when your bladder isn't full. So cutting water too aggressively can backfire and make you feel like you need to go more often, not less. Mistake number 2, skipping water all day, then catching up in the evening. This is incredibly common with seniors who get busy, forget to drink during the day, and then realize at 6 p.m. they barely had anything. So they try to make up for it with a big glass of water right before bed. That's almost guaranteed to wake you up at midnight. Mistake number 3, not accounting for hidden fluids and hidden sodium. Soup, fruit, ice cream, that innocent-looking sauce on your pasta, sodium pulls water into your bloodstream, and your kidneys have to process that fluid eventually. If a big, salty meal was at dinner, guess when your body processes it? Right in the middle of the night. Mistake number 4, and this is the big one. Timing is more important than quantity. Most people think about how much water they're drinking. Almost nobody thinks about when. And this single shift, moving from how much thinking to when thinking, is the foundation of everything I'm about to teach you. So now that you know what not to do, let's talk about exactly what to do. This is broken into 5 simple rules. I want you to really absorb these because together they form a complete daily rhythm, not just a random tip here and there. Rule number 1, front load your hydration. Aim to drink the majority of your daily water, roughly 70 to 80% of it, between the time you wake up and about 4 to 5 p.m. Why this window? Because your body needs several hours to process fluid and move it through your system before bedtime. If you're well hydrated by mid-afternoon, your body isn't scrambling to catch up in the evening, and it isn't holding on to extra fluid that gets released the moment you lie down. A simple way to do this? Keep a water bottle or a glass on your kitchen counter and refill it with your morning coffee, again at lunch, and again mid-afternoon. By dinner time, you should already feel caught up, not thirsty and rushing to drink more. Rule number 2, the 2-hour wind-down window. Starting about 2 hours before bed, begin tapering your fluid intake. This doesn't mean stopping completely. A few small sips are fine, especially if you're thirsty or taking evening medication. But this is not the time for a full glass of water, a cup of tea, or a bowl of soup. Think of it as a gentle closing of the tap, not a sudden shut-off. Your body responds much better to gradual changes than abrupt ones. Rule number 3, watch the hidden diuretics. Caffeine and alcohol are both diuretics, meaning they actually pull more fluid out of your body than they put in, and that effect can last for hours. That afternoon cup of tea or coffee, it could still be affecting your kidneys well into the evening. And that glass of wine with dinner, as relaxing as it feels, is one of the most common and most overlooked causes of a 2 a.m. bathroom trip. My advice? Try to have your last caffeinated drink no later than early afternoon. And if you enjoy an evening drink, consider moving it earlier in the day or limiting it a few nights a week to see how your body responds. Rule number 4, the one almost nobody talks about, sodium timing. Remember when I said stay until the end? Here it is. Most people think about water and caffeine, but almost nobody thinks about sodium timing. When you eat a salty meal, your body needs extra water to balance that sodium out in your bloodstream, and it often pulls that water out of your system hours later, right as you're sleeping. Here's the simple fix. Try to make your dinner the lightest meal of the day in terms of salt. Save saltier foods for lunch, when your body has hours of daylight and activity to process it. A lighter, lower sodium dinner is one of the most underrated tools for reducing nighttime bathroom trips, and almost no one is told this. Rule number 5, elevate and empty, the final step before bed. 2 small habits make a big difference right before sleep. First, in the hour or 2 before bed, if you tend to have swelling in your ankles or legs, try sitting with your legs elevated for 15 to 20 minutes. This helps your body reabsorb and process that fluid before you lie down, rather than processing it while you're asleep, which is a major hidden cause of nighttime urination, especially for those with circulation issues. Second, and this sounds almost too simple, always fully empty your bladder right before you get into bed, and take your time doing it. Rushing can leave the bladder incompletely empty, which shortens the time before you feel the urge to go again. If you've made it this far, you're serious about protecting your health. Most people watch videos like this, but forget to subscribe, and they miss future health advice that could make a real difference. If you're finding this helpful, take a second to subscribe. It's free, and it helps you stay informed. Now let's round it up. Let me show you what this actually looks like in a real day, so you can picture yourself doing it. Morning. Start your day with a glass of water before coffee. This is your foundation. Most people are mildly dehydrated just from a night's sleep, and starting here sets the tone for the whole day. Mid-morning to early afternoon. This is your main hydration window. Sip consistently, water, herbal tea, whatever you enjoy, aiming to have the bulk of your daily fluids finished by mid-afternoon. Lunch. If you're going to have a saltier meal, this is the time, not dinner. Late afternoon. Your last caffeinated drink, if you have one. Dinner. Lighter on sodium. A little less soup, a little less sauce, a squeeze of lemon or fresh herbs instead of extra salt for flavor. 2 hours before bed. Begin tapering fluids, small sips only if needed. Before bed, elevate your legs if you deal with swelling, then fully empty your bladder right before lying down. This isn't about perfection, it's about rhythm. Even getting 3 or 4 of these 5 rules right consistently can make a real difference within just 1 to 2 weeks. And I want to be honest with you. For some people, nighttime urination isn't just about water habits. It can be connected to other things, certain medications, blood sugar, prostate changes in men, or pelvic floor changes in women. If you've tried adjusting your water habits for a few weeks and you're still waking up multiple times a night, that's worth a conversation with your own doctor. Not because something is necessarily wrong, but because there may be an additional piece to your specific puzzle, and you deserve real answers, not guesswork. Let's bring it all together, because I want you to walk away from this video actually being able to use what you learned tonight. Here's your 5-rule method one more time. 1. Front load water earlier. 2. Taper gently in the 2 hours before bed. 3. Watch caffeine and alcohol timing. 4. Shift sodium to lunch. 5. Elevate legs and empty your bladder. I know what it feels like to dread going to bed because you know you'll be up again in a few hours. I know how exhausting that cycle becomes, not just physically, but mentally. You deserve a full night of real, uninterrupted rest, not eventually, starting tonight. Imagine waking up feeling truly refreshed, without having been interrupted every few hours. That is the goal of this method. So here's my challenge for you. Try this method for just 7 days, not perfectly, just consistently. And I genuinely love to know how it goes. Come back and tell me in the comments how many times you were up each night before you started, and how that number changes by the end of the week. I read every single one, and I want to celebrate that win with you. If this video helped you, do me a favor and hit subscribe, because next week I'm covering the 2nd most common sleep disruptor after 50. And trust me, it's one you've probably never even considered. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take care of yourself, and here's to your best night of sleep yet. I'll see you in the next one.